Now then, April is just around the corner. Although the weather is brightening up a little bit, the outlook isn't quite so sunny for our bank balances.
Yes, the new tax year begins, and with it, price hikes in everything from prescription to water bills. But if you act now, you could save yourself a small fortune, can't you?
Well, you can if you know what you're doing. Now, I have to be technical here. The tax year starts on the 6th of April, but there's another new year, the New Year for Public Service price hikes, that starts on the 1st of April. Now, there's a party waiting to happen, isn't it? Which is actually when all of these price hikes hit, which is this Saturday. So it's even quicker than that.
So should we start with council tax?
Yeah, well, council tax is going to go up. They think 9 in 10 councils will be putting their council tax up by up to 5%, probably more typically around 2 to 3%. There's nothing you can do about the price hike in itself, but there's lots of people who are overpaying on their council tax without realising it. That comes in two main areas. The first is, are you entitled to the single person's discount? Now, quite obviously, that means if you're living by yourself, you get a discount, and it's 25% off the council tax. If you're living by yourself and you're not getting that, you should apply for it. But also, there are certain types of people who are disregarded for council tax purposes. Now, the most obvious one that people know of is students. Two students living together don't pay council tax. But if I were a student and you weren't a student and we were living together, I don't count as a person, so you get the single person discount, though actually we both would then have to pay it, so you probably split it between you. But the other type, and I've been campaigning on this recently, is people who have a severe mental impairment, such as Alzheimer's or Parkinson's disease or another severe mental impairment. You have to meet certain criteria and be eligible even if not actually claiming some benefits. Now, there are many people out there, possibly hundreds of thousands of people, and most of them are not getting this. So if you live with someone who has a severe mental impairment, you should be getting that 25% off. And if you should have been getting it for years, you can get a backdated payout to get all the money back. People have been getting thousands on this. So if that triggers a bell, I'm not saying you necessarily will get it, but it's certainly something you should look into. So that's the first bit of council tax. Now, the other bit. Up to 400,000 people are in the wrong band. I'm not talking Robbie Williams here, I'm talking the whole council tax band. And about half of those will be in too high a band. This is primarily England and Scotland because council tax was set up in 1991. Do you know how they valued your house for council tax bands? Honestly, this is not an exaggeration. It was called a drive-by valuation. They had to do it quickly. They had a couple, maybe estate agents or other valuers in the cars. They had a checklist on of how many bedrooms, and they'd drive by and they'd go, band B, band C, band D.
Oh, my gosh.
Drive-by valuation. It was meant to be, when they were setting council tax up to start in '93, just a quick one that did it for the beginning and then they'd go and revalue it later. Well, it's 2017.
How many houses did they drive past?
All of them.
What, every house?
There weren't just two of them doing it, Philip.
What about houses that have gone on to have extensions and are bigger and got more bedrooms?
Well, then
could you be paying too much?
You get revalued at that point. Listen, some people
too
are paying
little,
yeah, you could be paying too little. Some are paying too little, but they tend to revalue as part of the planning permission when you do that. It's been revalued in Wales, but in Scotland and England, that 1991 drive-by valuation is still how your house is valued, which means systemically people are in the wrong band. Now, I developed way back 10 years ago, actually, a check and challenge system for this. The first check is you check on neighbours in similar or identical properties paying a higher band than you are. If they are, that's an indication you may... Sorry, in a lower band than you are. That's
going to say if it's higher, then shut up.
Exactly. You don't have to declare it. If you're in a higher band than them, that's an indication. Then you do the valuation check, which is a bit more complicated. I put details on the website on this one, which is where you work out what your house is worth in 1991, because that's what counts. And you can do it using house price calculators, will help you do it for you. And then if both of those checks look like you're in too high a band, then put a complaint in. Only if both are, because if not, they can also... It could be everybody else is in the wrong band and they put them all up. So you need to follow both checks for doing this. But just to give you an indication, I get successes on all this time. Helen Banks got a council tax reduced from Band E to Band D, received a £6,249 refund back to April 1993. So happy, thank you.
All right.
Worth checking if you think you're in too high band.
Let's talk about a different area now.